Matt Stepp is on that grind. He is traveling around to state believe it or not, 7-on-7 state qualifying tournaments are already underway. There was one last weekend at the Star in Frisco that was put in conjunction with the NFL draft. They wanted to make sure it was like, oh, it's a football celebration in Texas, which is cool. Now, I don't know if there's a ton to be taken from it because last week, if you don't know, last week was also regional track. So some of the fastest athletes in high school are not going to be there.
Right.
So, grain of salt, still, it's football. It's a good opportunity to get out there and show some stuff. We're going to have more 7-on-7 coverage coming up in a couple of weeks and in months to come. But, Max, while Matt Stepp was out there watching 7-on-7, he caught up with a number of coaches. We're going to be showing you some of those interviews throughout the course of this week. And one of the guys he caught up with is a guy who's going to be playing at the Star. The new head coach of Frisco Heritage. Remember, Hendricks left to take the job at Bernie. In comes Whitney coach Kenneth Gilchrist. He was hired on April 3rd to take over Frisco Heritage, the Coyotes, see how far they can go in Frisco ISD. And so Matt Stepp caught up with Coach Gilchrist outside the Star. Here's his conversation with new Frisco Heritage coach Kenneth Gilchrist here on Texas Football Today.
Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, back here at the Frisco 7-on-7 state qualifying tournament. Here with the new head coach of the Frisco Heritage Coyotes, Coach Kenneth Gilchrist. Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes out of a busy Saturday morning to chat with us.
We appreciate it. We're happy to be here, excited to be here for sure.
I was going to ask you the first question. You kind of beat me right to the punch there. You obviously Frisco Heritage. You left a good situation at Whitney. You kind of built that thing, kind of from the ground up. What attracted you to the Frisco Heritage job when it opened up? What were some of the positive aspects of this gig?
Well, I think a lot of it is, before I even got to meet any of the people here, was what's going on in Frisco itself, the city. The growth here. Here at the Star, where we're playing the 7-on-7 tournament. The Cowboys moving here and all that kind of stuff attracted me. But then when I got here and started talking to people like Coach K, Mark Mims, our high school principal, they've got a great family atmosphere, and it's a huge town, but a small town feel, and it's easy to say that, but hard to do, and they've done it somehow. I mean, we have 10 high schools, and it's a small feel. We feel like a family, and there's guys I can lean on. It's a place for me to grow professionally. So, it's a huge draw for me. So we're excited. Our family's excited to be a part of it.
All right, now obviously the negative aspect of that is you're leaving a good situation at Whitney, and that's never easy. How tough was that conversation with your kids, and how tough was it to leave the people at Whitney who've been so good to you?
Well, it's like I told them, our kids, it's always tough when you're leaving your kids, but what I told the community and, our school board and Gene Solis, our superintendent, was I had 2 kids graduate from there. My youngest son, who's going to be in 8th grade, started in daycare there. So that's our second home, it's our home away from home. But it was really hard, but it's one of those opportunities I couldn't pass up.
All right, now obviously since you're new and you're still trying to get your staff together and your head's spinning, you got a million things going on. You're not doing spring football, so this is going to be your first chance to really watch your kids, especially going against somebody in a different colored jersey. How excited are you for that opportunity?
We're fired up. We've been talking about it for 2 weeks now. We have a Monday Night Lights where we do some 7-on-7 league, but we're really cranked up to see this thing. We're excited. So it's going to be neat to see the kids compete today.
Final question for you. The UIL recently had the instant replay. They're going to implement that this year for the state championship games only. Obviously, if you're playing in a state championship, that's a great thing, and you're going to be fired up no matter what. Yeah. But overall, your opinions, how do you feel? You think this is a good rule for high school football?
I think it's an excellent rule. I think if we have the capability, we need to use it because nobody's perfect, and if there's a play that's going to change a game and we can look at it, let's look at it.
I think a testament also to the officials that we have that you don't see too many real controversial. You see a few, but I mean, the officials that work the state title games they do a great job, don't they?
Excellent crews, yes sir. So I just think it's right there if we need it. But a lot of times we're not going to need it, like you say. But I think if we need to, we need to use it.
Coach, appreciate your time. Congrats on the new gig, and good luck in 2018.
Appreciate you. Thanks, man.
There he is, Kenneth Gilchrist, head coach, Frisco Heritage. Excited to see what they're able to do this year. I think they're going to be, the way I view it, in that District 5-5A Division I, they're probably going to be in a dogfight for that 4th playoff spot. Mm-hmm. It's probably between, let's put it this way, I think Wakeland, Little Elm, Heritage, and Independence are going to duke it out for 2 spots.
Yeah.
Let's assume the Colony gets in. Let's assume Lone Star gets in, right? I think then you're going to have those 4 teams duking out for 2 playoff spots. They've got some playmakers. Khalil Harris was almost a 1,000-yard rusher last year. They expect to give him a little bit more of the load. I'm excited to see what Heritage has coming up here with their new coach, Kenneth Gilchrist. Still a young program, worth remembering. Still a young program. So we will see what they are able to do in 2018. We appreciate him putting up with Matt Stepp for a couple of minutes.